Welcome to Brighton to Siberia. Now, a lot of people have asked me, and a lot are going to ask me when I get home, what it was like doing the trip and sleeping every night in a one-man inflatable bivvy tent. In this case, the Nemo Mio, which has a single inflatable air beam to provide the headroom and the structure, and no poles, but it does need to be pegged down. First of all, I'll give you a little tour of the tent. Basically, you can see here, these are the air beams, so you can tell just there it's fairly solid, and there's another one on this side, fairly solid. If you see that goes over the top. Actually, a little hook here for hanging things on, like socks and things, while they're drying. If we turn and look down the tent, you will see my little feet in here. The pole in the middle is the stick which goes in from the outside. Literally a piece of wood will do. It's then pegged at that corner and at that corner. I'm lying on my sleeping rest, my thermarest at the moment. You can see I've got my riding trousers down one side, and what I also do is towards the end I also have my jacket towards the end as well, which moves it out of the way and gives you some more space. Down each side you've got space for tank bags and things. I've got my tank bag to my left here. I've actually got my helmet there. I'm sleeping with my head almost into the mesh part. There's a mesh construction. Let's get this. So there's a mesh, an inner mesh here and here, and then a two-part outer which forms the door, and you can have either or, and the zip at the very bottom zips all the way round and up to the top, so it does open quite successfully. There's a little ventilation area, which is, I just see just up here. That's a little ventilation area. It's reasonably successful. I would say overall the construction of the tent is a thick nylon, single skin. The base is a bit thicker than the top. I haven't yet had any punches from the top, but sorry, with the bottom, by putting it on these sharp things. We shall see what happens. I haven't noticed water seeping in. It doesn't draw water up into it like some tents when they get damaged. The outer is again nylon. It's very tough. It has some little windows at the top. There's a little window here, which allows you to look out, or people to look in, but they can't really see anything. What else have we got? The actual valve for the for inflating it is here. Don't worry, you don't have to blow on it. There's a pump which you clip onto there, and then you squidge it, and it basically inflates the air beam. Squidge it with your hand to pump it. That noise at the moment is rain. I am up a small hill in Mongolia at the moment. We're about 2 days into the journey. But back to the tent, I'd say, okay, so the pros of the tent, it's incredibly light. It's smaller than my sleeping bag, probably about the same size as a standard thermarest when it's rolled up. So it's about sort of maybe 20 centimetres long and about 10-15 centimetres across. You can even squidge it even smaller. It comes with a stuff sack, and that's what happens. There's no rolling this baby. You just stick it in the stuff sack and squash it all in, leaving the valve to the end so that you can then unclip this little deflator cap and put the rubber cap on, and that stops it from damaging any part of the tent. So yes, so the pros, it's very small, very light. You can inflate it when you're in it, but to be honest, it works best when it's guyed out. So if it's not going to be too hot or too cold and it's not going to be wet, then you could just climb into it, inflate the beam. But for the beam to be inflated, you really need to have at least the 2 pegs at the end and 1 peg at the head end, in order to give it, you know, the structure over the top. I'd say other positives. I'd say the height of the air beam. So for a bivvy, it's actually quite high. It allows you to sit. You could sit cross-legged under the loop of the beam, which gives you an idea how much bigger than your average bivvy tent this really is. And with no poles, it's ideal if you're worried about damaging the inner bit, which is sort of polyurethane tube which goes inside the black tube, so it's actually protected inside the tube anyway. But they come rolled up, and they're about, you know, they're about the I don't know, how big are they? I don't have it to show you. But it's small enough to fit in. You could easily fit it in a pocket, like a jeans pocket, or actually even in the stuff sack for the tent, it would easily fit in there. It's just maybe a roll of money, you know, a little roll of money like that, and about this long, and it's all rolled up and has its own valve with it, which makes it a little bit bigger. But that means that if you rip the old one, then you don't have to mess around. Negatives. What are the cons? The cons are primarily it's a single skin tent, and being a single skin tent, you're at the mercy of condensation primarily. The outside of the tent gets very cold, the warmth of your body and the moisture sort of evaporating off you condenses on the inside of the tent. If you're camping slightly at altitude and it's very damp, so where the clouds are sort of pushing up over a hill and you're nearer the top, you'll find that it will accelerate the condensation, and it can get quite. If it's cold, I would say it's not ideal. I wouldn't say it's dangerous, but it's not ideal to be wet, especially cold. But it's a shelter that you just unpack and roll out. It works very well. Other disadvantages, well, of course, you don't have a lot of space in here, but then again, you make up for that with not having to have a proper tent on your back rack of the bike. So you can use that for other space. In my case, which is a roll bag. So that's all. If you have any questions, just go to the Brighton 2 expeditions.co.uk and leave a comment, and I will get back to you.